Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Market Skycast, your official Blue Sky podcast. Once again, I am your host, Justin. I am here with Coach Matt and Coach Becky. Welcome in, guys. How are we doing today?
Hey, so good. Happy to be here. Cheers to another Monday.
Doing great. Excited to be here. Excited for America's 250th later on this week, team. Going to do some celebrating later on this week. Hell, the people around my parts probably going to be launching fireworks later today, tomorrow, the next day, the day after that. But doing great. Excited to be here as well.
Awesome. Now, guys, we're going to switch it up a little bit. Instead of focusing more on exactly what's going on right now, we're going to kind of shift into more just trader questions, trader topics that the coaches can have a great conversation, maybe a healthy debate. And then as time allows at the end, we'll kind of talk about what's going on in the markets and anything we're specifically looking for. So we're trying new things out. If you like it, let us know. If you don't, let us also know. This podcast is for you guys. But we have some great questions and some great topics that, I think a lot of traders, especially new traders, struggle with. And, everything doesn't have to do with technical analysis and trading. Like Coach Becky especially knows, trading is 80% psychology and just little tips and tricks that don't have anything to do with the chart. So let's just hop right into it. I have some great topics that Blue Sky members have set in for us to discuss today. So let's just get right into it. And topic number one, Matt, you've been in the markets longer than both of us combined. So I really want to hear maybe potentially how this question affected you, what you thought about it at the beginning and what you think about it now and what you see in students and things like that. But the topic is, should traders have a life completely outside of the markets?
First of all, I always appreciate it when you gently remind me that I'm old.
I gotta get one in every episode.
I always appreciate the gentle reminder there, Justin. Thank you. I think the wrinkles give it away, but I do appreciate. Or I could just be like, thank you for acknowledging the wisdom of my old age there, Justin. So appreciate that. No, all kidding aside, obviously the answer is yes, that you need to have a life outside of trading. Trading is something we do to have a better life outside of trading. And so trading is a part of what we do. Investing is a part of what we do. But you know what? So is family, so is community, and so is golf. And so the answer is absolutely yes, because if all you do is stare down the barrel of charts day in and day out, and you're just sitting in your computer day in, day out, you're going to go a little stir crazy. You're going to go a little bit of insane, and your read on the market is going to be impacted. Whereas when you have not just a life, but a big life outside of what you do in the market on a day in, day out basis, usually a little bit fresh, a little bit more open-minded, and you can come into the market ready to attack it. I've always felt like the best traders are very systematic with structured routines is what I've always felt the best traders are. They come into the market, they know what they want, they get it, and they go on. And it does, whether you're talking about day trading, swing trading, cash flow systems or whatnot. And I'll just give you a quick story of this. I was dealing with a student one time who wanted to learn how to do credit spreads. And credit spreads are just a theta-based trade in the options market where you're going to sell options out of the money and generate cash flow in a high probability scenario. And they wanted to mentor with this trader I knew. And this trader was talking about taking them on as a student. And the student was like, yeah, I'm willing to put 6, 7, 8 hours a day in. I'm willing to do whatever is needed. And the mentor's like, yeah, I'm glad for you. I spend 5 minutes a day. So when you're ready to do 5 minutes a day, I think I can mentor you. When you want to do 8 hours a day, you might want to go look at something else. And so just because first of all, there's always a trade in the market. The market's a 24-hour market, and you're not going to be sitting in front of the market 24 hours a day. As a day trader, you're going to have your sessions that you love trading. Mike in the morning loves trading the morning session. I like trading power hour. I like trading the Asian session. And so there's going to be sessions that you set that you're there for. but life comes first, family comes first, country comes first. I'm just talking about the July 4th holiday season later on, but it's just one of those things that, yes, absolutely undeniable. You are a better trader if trading is a secondary thing you do and not the primary focus of everything in your life. Absolutely 100%. Get outside, touch some grass, get a hobby, live life.
Yeah,
I love that. And me specifically, just before I get to you, Becky, I was that guy that said I will do 8 to 9 hours a day, and I actually did. And I'll talk about that in a bit, but I think everybody comes in the market just like that. Now, Becky, what about you? What about your personal experience?
I don't say judgment. It was me too when I was young.
I think it was all of us. But Becky, anything you want to add, you agree with? How did you look at the markets, and how did you separate your personal life, outside life from trading when you first started?
Yeah, I think that early obsession is really common. I think when you start to see that, oh my God, this is a real thing, I can make money, I'm starting to understand it. We crave like everything, the knowledge, the wisdom, all the teachers, understanding everything. And so you can fall headfirst into trading and not even figure out how to swim in that for a while. But I absolutely have figured out that I trade better when I regulate and I only have it be a part of my life. And I think that part of that is like a lot of the mindset work that I have done, honestly, because for me, living in an abundant mindset, like makes it all calmer, like recognizing that I will be able to find good trades and I don't have to hunt every candlestick on the 1 minute chart in order to find really good setups that I enjoy and I can capitalize. Rather, I can like have a bigger, broader picture and see 1 or 2 setups a day and otherwise have this other part of my life. Because I have found that when I'm feeling like happy and content and abundant in all aspects of my life, like my personal life, my family, my friends, my other pursuits, that carries over. That sort of energy and vibe and approach to life carries over into my trading, because then I feel like I'm abundant in my trading too. And I don't need to hunt for nitpick for every trade because they're scarce. Rather, like it's going to come. I'll see a good opportunity. And if I don't, there'll be other times. And so it's like a broad life view that is helping me have more stability in this. And that absolutely comes from like a full life on the outside, as well as when I'm at my markets. That way, when I'm at trading, it's not all day, it's just a consolidated period. So during that time, I really want to just focus and be present there so that later I can turn it off and like enjoy other parts. So I do think that that shift has made me a better trader and like a happier person in general too.
I think that's great. And I think a good word for that is fulfillment. Because I think if in other parts of your life, if you're not fulfilled or have passion and the only thing you get fired up about is like hitting a banger trade, you're going to be chasing that dopamine hit only on the charts, like not in your real life. And this is something I think kind of carries over too. Like most people have like a yearly vacation or something they do yearly. Do you guys look at the charts at all when you have things like that? Do you trade? Do you say, I don't care about the charts? Like what's your mindset and things like that? Let's start with you, Matt.
There's always moments throughout the day that I'm not going to trade. Like, like if there's things in my life, other meetings, other businesses, family obligations, community, spiritual, you name it. Like there's a lot of other things in my life that are a bigger priority than sitting down in front of the computer and trading. In fact, the reason that you sit in front of the computer to trade so you can enjoy those other things in your life, you got to have balance. You absolutely have to have some balance, because if you don't, you're going to go crazy in this business. You will. You'll all of a sudden you'll feel like the daily chart on the S&P 500 over the last month. Some days you're going to feel absolutely fantastic. Other days you're going to feel absolutely terrible, a little bit chop. Yeah, that's fine on the chart, not in your life. So you got to have balance in your life. And I love what Tiffany said in the chat there. I need to focus and not spend too much time on other things. And I just want to ask everybody a very simple question. How much time in the market do we spend wasting time in the market every single day in one way or the other? Whereas when you talk about the greatest people out there from a trader or from an investor perspective, they focus. And I love that word that Tiffany said, focus, because that's a Warren Buffett word. Warren Buffett talked about this philosophy of diversification versus focus. And the general philosophy is to diversify things. That's Wall Street language for buy my mutual funds that are diversified. And what Warren Buffett says is they're not diversified. What you need to do is focus. And I know that's a different conversation that Buffett was having versus what we were having. he was talking about focusing on certain asset classes instead of just trying to throw a bunch of junk at the wall and hopefully something sticks. Warren Buffett will have no problem allocating 40% of his entire portfolio in his stock if he has that belief in that stock. He did it for Apple for 10 years. Same thing on the day in, day out basis. We should have specific daily routines that we have as traders. We should have specific sessions as a day trader specifically that we trade, that we go through it from a methodical, analytical approach so that you're not wasting time. If you trade the New York session, you get in front of that New York session, you do your routine, you do your preparation, you do your levels, you're active during the New York session. And I'll guarantee what Mike's doing later this day. He's not staring at the chart all day long.
No chance.
He's going in there for his 2-hour session that he loves trading every single morning on the New York session. He's going to go in there with an appetite and an efficiency. We see it every single day. Us coaches, we see it on the other side of the equation. It's so impressive, but we see it in the stream as well. He's focused. He's hungry. He's a tiger. He's going to get what he came there for, and then he's going to go live his life because he understands that trading is one of the things he does, not his entire identity of absolutely everything. And so focus is so important because it allows you to focus on your routine, focus on your session. And then when you get outside that, leave it. It's going to be there for you tomorrow. If you had a bad session today, don't try to compound it by chasing the Asian session. Go live your life, rinse and repeat your routine the following day. So if you're struggling with that and you feel like you're coming in at 9 o'clock in the morning, rechecking at noon, coming back at power hour, checking the Asian session, hypothetically checking the London session, it's becoming your identity. Everything in the market is becoming your identity. Whereas, are you really that efficient by doing it that way? Or should you plan a 2-hour stretch in your day to do everything you need to do so that you can come back out to power hour? And if you're bored and you want to hang out with me and Becky in power hour, fantastic. I'm not trying to tell you just to do the New York session, not hang out with me in power hour. I'm just saying be effective and efficient in how you go about your routines on a day in, day out basis. And when you're done with your routine, go live your life, rinse and repeat the next day.
That's great. I think routine is incredibly important. And I want to add to, and then we'll get to Becky, but like if you trade 9:30 to 10:30 and you hop on and you look at your chart and you see it's nowhere near what your plan is or your setup is, like go do something, come back later. You don't plan your whole day around trying to chase the setup or something like that. And I think it's sometimes a relief for me when I look at the chart and see there's no setup. But the question, there was a lot of gold in there. But the question was, if you have something pre-planned, like Becky, I know you went on vacation earlier this year with your family. Did you even look at the charts or anything like that?
Okay, so I love this question, actually, this follow-up question of yours, because I think that it's actually harder than it should be to shut off. And so I know that for me still at my phase in trading, my day trading sessions still push at my fight or flight response. They still get me amped up. They still get my adrenaline up a little bit. They still get my cortisol up a little bit. I'm almost a sense of relief when I lock in and I've locked in a good trading day and I can, lock my accounts for the day. I feel like I have stepped into my arena and done my best. And then I am done trading and I walk away. However, I do recognize in my body, like my physical body, my mind, my energy, that there's some carryover of holding that strain. And so when I want to get off my chart, sometimes it takes me a little while to come down from that, to have my nervous system really actually reset. And sometimes it can be done just in the afternoon, playing with my kids, getting outside, going for a walk or a hike or just gardening or whatever. But on the bigger scope of things, I do think that we carry stress as traders because having this leverage on taking this risk, accepting the reward, considering payouts, maybe you've had a tilt day, that can really cause a lot of strain on your body and your mentation. And so I think that it's actually really important to take that time and de-stress. Now, on my trip, it actually took me some time to wind down. And part of that is that I was traveling internationally with 3 children. So there was a different stress. It was an experience. But it took me time to like stop thinking about the market and to be like, you're not trading today and you can't micromanage this for your businesses and whatever. And so I think that I guess my point is that it's easier said than done, but it's important because your nervous system really does so much better at focusing when you come back at it if you can get that reset. And so I try to purposefully, but I know that for myself, it takes time. And so on my trip, for example, the first day I still felt amped. I still felt tightness in my shoulders. I still felt like focus. I was still checking Discord and I was still checking the charts. But by day 3, I was fully present in like my Thai hot tub time. And so like, I do think that that's normal for the human psychology to need a little bit of time to come down out of that stress. And I would encourage everyone to do whatever they need to do, like whoever their people are, whatever their activities are that help bring them down, because coming down out of that will help you have longevity in this game instead of living at this constant high level of stress. There's health risks to that. There's psychological risks to that. And you'll be more focused when you come back. So I did get there on my trip, but it was not day 1. Not to say that.
That's a great point. I mean, I'm at the point now, it probably took me 5 years where if I'm checked out, I'm checked out. I might check the chart just to be like, did it get to 30K? Oh, that's cool. And then put my phone down. But I'm not looking for a trade. I'm not doing anything. But that is such a hard thing to do. And Tiffany said it great in the chat. More time on the charts usually equals more problems. So hit your play, have your routine, have other hobbies. And then when you're off the charts, be off the charts. But I love that discussion. That was great.
That's wrong with going for a walk after your trading session to just get it dialed right back in mentally.
Yeah. Oh, and Becky said when she got back, she was like ready to be laser focused. I feel like a brand new trader if I'm gone for a week and I come back. It's like I'm like seeing the Matrix. You know, it's insane how a break like that can just really reset you. So
well, listen, the brain gets exhausted the same way every other thing on the body gets exhausted.
Exactly.
When you're staring at a chart all day long for 6 hours, you are not seeing the same things in the 5th hour as you were in the first.
Facts.
Mental capacity.
I think I make up patterns in the 6th hour. I think that's a yeah. You see what you want to see after so much.
The double blue sky pattern just starts showing up when you get a hot.
Hey, double blue sky pattern. What's
usually
that?
When you're making up, it's gold too. Also,
buy it all.
So this is a really good one, and I think our answers might surprise people because there is a huge difference between most retail traders and most new traders specifically compared to actual professional traders. And I'm talking about hedge fund managers, floor traders, like real professionals, like Mike in the morning. But this is a really good one. Becky, let's start with you. What would surprise new traders the most about how professionals actually trade?
Okay, so I love this question because I actually, as part of my interest in the trading world, I like to study the greats that have done far more than I have on the charts. And something that I consistently see in almost every single story is 2 things: is that they identify their setups very clearly, and they're only interested if it is a setup that they thoroughly understand, anticipate, and are ready for, and then they will fire even like massive leverage that I'm not ready to comprehend yet at those setups. So they're very clear with their setups, and they're only interested in when they see what they need to see to be engaged. But then the other thing is cutting losers fast. And so even Mike in the morning, he's such a good example. And he says that all the time of like, move to break even, like move your stop to a stop gain, because there's no reason that you need to be in a winning trade and go red. Or if you get in a trade and it's not working right away, cut it. And so cutting losers fast is like so across the board what I have seen in the traders that have really made it, because they don't take outsized loss in order to have the ability to hold that kind of capital and allow it to grow, is that they don't find themselves in giant holes they're digging out of. Instead, they take paper cuts if they need to, and then they slam their home runs. And that is a game changer for an account. And that is certainly what I seem to have observed the most in professional traders, and that I really love and want to like literally aspire to.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because we literally watched Mike do it. He can take 10 little paper cuts in the morning, small losses, and then one play later, boom, it doesn't even matter. It's like those losses never happen. He's up 10
and that's why I think people spend way too much time on what is your win-loss rate, because I will be more than happy to take 10 minor cuts if I catch a beautiful trend. Yeah. And that's the reality. In fact, some of the best day traders I've ever met in the currency market hit a win-loss rate in the 15 to 25% range, but their 15 to 25% range were massive home runs, and their 75% loss range was constantly very small cuts. And I would say, just to kind of jump on what Becky was talking about, because Becky gave a wonderful answer that I'm not sure I can add that much to, quite frankly. But, I had a fortunate opportunity one time to interview a guy by the name of Jack Swagger, who wrote the book.
I love that name, by the way.
He's an amazing guy. He wrote he wrote the new Wizards book, the New Market Wizards book back in the 1980s.
Multiple now.
And so what he did was he decided, I want to go interview the greatest traders of the 1970s and 1980s. Everybody we talk about in Rarefied Air was in that book, basically. And so he wanted to find out, was there a commonality with successful traders, successful investors? And these were day traders, scalpers, investors. The professionals kind of do a little bit of it all, quite frankly, in an overall portfolio construct. But they're absolutely right. They weren't spending 10 hours a day in the market. I can tell you that. They have their systems. They trust their systems. They trade their systems, and then they move on. But a couple generalities of those is they will cut losers extremely quick. If it is not it, they're not going to beg it to go in their direction. I can tell you that right now. If they don't get their edge, they are completely gone in a heartbeat, and they will maximize those winners. And we talk about this all the time. It's literally a Nobel winning theory for a reason, called prospect theory. But the number one thing new traders have to master to get to the old trader, to get to that status, is we can talk about time efficiency during your trading session. We can talk about, perfecting your systems. But the number one thing that the best traders of all time realize is how to cut a loss short and maximize a winner, to literally flip the script that is embedded in our consumer mind, where we want to protect the loss and cap the gain. We have to flip that script as a trader. And that's what the best traders learn how to do, is to constantly, this game is not about being right or being wrong. This game is about maximizing when you're right and minimizing when you're wrong. And so that it's much easier said than done, because when you get into a trade, all of a sudden you find yourself going into the 2-minute time frame and scalping every level to level and never catching that ultimate trend. But that's what the best traders do, is they capture trends, not just individual moves within a trend, and they cut that loss whenever the pattern expires. And so, again, easier said than done. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've been doing this a long time, and I still don't feel like I've mastered that skill set. I still don't feel like I've mastered the skill set of maximizing return and minimizing loss. Don't get me wrong. I feel like I've mastered the minimizing of the loss. Like, I trust my stop loss. I trust my systems. I trust my position sizing. I trust my execution. Where I don't feel like I have personally mastered it is allowing to do the things that Mike does, quite frankly, in being able to navigate the entirety of a trend. I feel like I'm good, but I don't feel like I've mastered it. And I've been doing this a long time. So that's a difficult skill set. It's, once again, it's very easy just to say, hey, let the winner run and cut the loss short. But then when you think about doing it in the real world, it goes against what you are designed up here for the first 20, 25 years of your entire life. And so it's much more difficult to actually do in real life. But I just love Becky's answer, and I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, and like we see every morning with Mike, cut him fast, catch the whole move, and that's how you really, really stack that account. And I just want to add one thing, and it seems like everybody should know this, but there's probably newer people watching and things like that. Professional traders never break their rules. Zero exceptions. No. Not once, not twice, not even a thought about it. If their edge is gone, they cut it.
You're not a trader if you're breaking rules. If you're breaking your own rules, you're a degenerate gambler that should go play poker. Like, there's rules for a reason. Yeah. Those rules are there to protect you. And if you're justifying breaking a rule to get into a trade, you're on tilt the same way gamblers go on tilt. And so, no, you shouldn't break a rule. No professional is going to break a rule just to justify getting involved in a trade because they're bored.
And what professionals also do is they might take the same trade a few times because they know statistically it's probably going to work out, but they cut it the second it goes against them. They don't wait for it to come back. Small losses, big wins. Absolutely love that. And That's what being a pro is, following your rules and hitting the full trade. So great answer. And we got time for one more. And this one could go in any direction because there's a lot of things that people kind of measure their trading against. So this question is just, what should traders stop measuring? And Matt, let's start with you.
Oh,
yeah, this could go a lot of different directions.
That could go a lot of different ways, because as an analytical guy, I like to measure a lot of things. But I do think we as specifically to day trading and not to other forms, but specifically to day trading, I do think there's too much emphasis on win-loss rate and profit loss on every single trade. I think like we were talking about, if you really want to cut losses short and let winners run, you're not going to hit 90% of your trades. You're just not going to do it. That's legitimately impossible to structure your trading system to maximize winners, minimize loss, and hit 90% of that. That is theoretically impossible. It's not. And if you're doing it, the reality is you're not taking as many losses as you need to take. You're not taking as many trades as you need to take. And so I kind of feel like when I hang around a bunch of day traders, I hear people trying to brag about, oh, I hit 70% of my win loss. I hit 60%. I hit 80%. Oh, I'm really good. I hit 85. I'm sorry. When somebody comes to me and they're like, I hit 85% of my day trades, I'm like, no, you don't, number one. And number two, you're not trading enough.
That's for Instagram, man. We know that. I'm a 90% win rate trader. Buy my course.
That's not it. That's not it. If you want it, because some of the best day traders I know will literally target 30 to 40% win rate, because to allow a scenario where you're going to take a tight stop loss for a potential big winner. You're not hitting above 50% of that very tight stop loss. You're going to get ticked out enough. And so I think, and again, I don't want to come across and suggest that your win rate isn't important. It is. It goes to the design of your system, right? But I do think there's too much emphasis placed on a high win rate when some of the best day trading systems are literally designed for a low win rate but a high return rate.
Yeah, great points. Becky, what about you? I mean, like I said, this can go in any direction.
Yeah, so I do think that as you're journaling, as your career progresses, it becomes less about the specific trade entries, exits, and then dollar amount won. I think the transition becomes, what am I doing as a trader that's holding me back, and what behaviors and choices do I need to shift? Like, what did I do today as a choice that was to my benefit or caused me some trouble, and how do I need to address that? So it becomes honestly more of the psychological stuff, because that growth is what can help you transcend through ceilings. And so that is not really a P&L situation. It's more so I traded my A+ setups. And so today was a really strong day, not even about the money. But then on the flip side of that, of like, I engage in some C quality setups because of what? Because of sleep deprivation, distraction, FOMO, and then those need to be the topic of your journals for real growth in terms of like who you are as a trader. And I think early journaling is so focused on I entered here and I managed my stop in this way, and then I exited here, and this trade took $512.50. But in a perfect world, I should have been able to get $850. Blah, blah. But more so, like, what are you doing? Are you following your process? And if you are not, what do you think led into that? And deep dive more into who you are behaving as. And that is how I think we can actually get the true growth of shaping ourselves into the professional trader that doesn't micromanage P&L, instead aims for killing it on their setups and behaving really strong and steady on the back end when there is no trade. So you're being super patient or cutting your risk. Cutting your risk.
Did Becky just tell Matt, one second, because this directly ties into what I tell people all the time. And I get the weirdest looks ever. My journaling does not include entries, exits, anything. It just includes, did I follow my rules? What was I feeling normally? And anything emotionally. Because I know my system. I know it works. I know it's just, did you follow your system? No. We'll stop doing that. You know, that's I just want to add that.
I was just going to say, I think Coach Becky just told me I didn't have to journal any longer. So no, I do agree. I do agree with the principle. When you're a young trader, it's important to journal so that you can go back and legitimately understand, are you following your rules or not?
Yeah.
As a veteran trader, you know instinctively if you're following your rules
in a second. Yeah.
So I was working with a new trader just last week, and they asked me about journaling, and they're like, well, what do you do? And I'm just like, I don't want to tell you I don't journal because that will tell you to be a bad habit. But I don't journal my entries and stop losses any longer either. I every now and then I'll take my transaction sheet out of Toss and I'll plug it into my Claude AI to do some evaluation. But in general, I don't determine entry and stop loss. I've trusted my system. I feel like I execute it fairly good. And quite frankly, that takes up a lot of time and I don't want to do it anymore. But as a new trader, I do think it's extremely important to document, but there is a moment where you stop being as aggressive in detailing your journey as a trader through the journal.
I mean, let's be real, Matt. If you're 5, 10, whatever years in and you have a system and you're profitable, do you really need to be writing down on Tuesday I entered at 860 and got out at 910? Maybe you enter cut too early, didn't run to profit target.
I think it would be much better if you literally spoke into your mic, into your Claude, and just talked about how you felt in that environment. Like after you get done with your session, go to your thread in Claude or ChatGPT or Grok or whatever it is, or however, go write it down in your journal, like your paper journal you keep under your pillow. I don't care, but I feel like that would be as powerful, just to be like, I did this, and this. I felt like I applied my system appropriately. I adjusted stop losses. I had questions on this. Like, I think you can document your journey as a trader in a variety of different ways to help you with those things. But structuring specific entry and specific stop losses after you've made 10,000 trades, I don't think is needed, quite frankly.
But to your point, when you are an early trader, that is the work. Like, you know, like when you're a freshman, sophomore, junior in college, like there's a lot of grunt work involved with that. There's a lot of breakdown. There's a lot of detailed write-ups, especially during that period. If you are under the arms of a mentor or a community where you can get some feedback, that data is priceless because that will help you refine your playbook. If your playbook is still gray or not fully complete or is not really getting the job done, then that's where your data is critical. So yeah, there is absolutely a transition in what your journal looks like as you grow up as a trader. Like there is a lot of key data in the beginning that you need to document and speak to someone about, because that can be used to like fine tune your playbook for sure. But then as you get deeper into like your playbook hasn't changed in years, like what's going on in your personal life that means you're not like breaking your ceiling and killing it.
It's because they're not, when you're a first new trader, you don't have a system yet.
Exactly.
You're still trying to figure that part of the process out. And then once you figure that part of the process out, you need to figure out, are you executing it the right way? And do you need to make modifications and adjustments? That takes some time. And that's where journaling is really, really, really powerful. But at some point, I think we can all agree, and I think based on the conversation we do, at some point it does become more about the psychological path in journaling than it does the application side of it.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. And because we're looking for pattern recognition, and it doesn't matter if it's technical analysis or psychological. That's what we are. We're trying to recognize patterns at the end of the day. My answer is stop measuring yourself to others, because we're in this social media age and everybody's in a million Discord servers and everybody knows good traders, bad traders. You know what? Like you might never be the $10,000 a day trader, and that's fine. But are you the trader that's making an extra $300 a day to, you know, work part-time?
You're paying some bills and helping your family and working on a legacy.
To spend more time with your family, to have the freedom you want, to do that, maybe a hobby you want. You don't even have to like trading. You just have to get in, get out, and do it. So I think especially with social media, man, if I didn't work for a trading company, I would not be following 90% of the traders I do.
I'll one up you 99%. I think almost everything moving into the future is utter garbage on social media. I cannot tell you how much idiotic, just absolutely fundamentally disgusting and garbage analysis I see on X every single day. I don't understand how anybody could take advice from some social media influencer on anything. I don't care if it's politics. I don't care if it's economics. I don't care if it's a central bank. I don't care if it's day trading, investing, covered calls. Doesn't matter. It's all absolutely an utter garbage out there.
It's a blue sky.
Yeah. Well, the thing
is, like I'm saying, like of all the conversations we get in our feed, right? Feed, that's what I'm talking about.
Content creators, not like strong.
Well, the thing is, guys, like I don't know about you, but how many times have you you lost a trade and then you go on social media and the first thing you say is, if you didn't catch that drop today, you should quit trading. Something
and
like
I
that.
guarantee they didn't catch it either.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to get into people
fast that all algorithms did. Like I've seen that where damn well it's just an algorithm move that absolutely no human caught anything. And then you have these influencers on social media. Did you catch that? Well, if you didn't, you're doing it wrong. And it's like, wait a second, you caught the 1 second volatility event after the Fed announced policy?
Okay.
Really? Come on.
Well, and let's be real. 99% of trading Twitter is just ChatGPT giving them something to put down. Like, can we be real? You're like this 18-year-old sat down and wrote this. BS. I don't believe that at all. I think, but I will say,
it's a good point on the AI side because it's going to get worse, not better on social media.
It's blowing up like crazy. You can see
but I will say that the videos to watch are like Becky's mindset videos, things like that, things that can actually help you, not things that don't compare you to other people. So like psychology videos, things like that. Those are the things you want to follow, not just somebody go watch me hit this banger trade. Because how does that benefit you at all?
It's the people that go on social media and just look at me. There's just a lot out there right now.
And all those accounts want you to pay to join their service as well.
Yeah, they're trying to sell you something too. Yeah. So I think measuring, stats at some point stops mattering, but also measuring yourself compared to other people. Because like I said, everybody's different. So awesome questions, awesome answers. I love this. I like this style of doing the podcast much better. Now we got like 5 minutes left. What happened last week or this week or anything that you're looking for actually trading wise? Because I think over the weekend the war started back up, and then by the time I woke up Monday, it was over again. So
we had 3 wars over the weekend. We had 3 peace deals over the weekend, and we're good up until Tuesday. So we're good. We're good till Tuesday.
Okay, so nothing's changed on that.
Yeah, so we're good on that one. The only news item last week that I feel was worthy to really kind of discuss from a market perspective was Micron's earnings report. And Micron, which is in part of the AI evolution, obviously, they had a gorgeous earnings report. I'm talking NVIDIA 3 years ago type earnings report, just an absolute juggernaut. But what stood out to me on that was the NASDAQ sold after that, which tells you that there is still a lot of concern against the very top of the market right now, which is the AI trade. What didn't sell aggressively was cyclical areas of the market. Dow Jones, Russell 2000, RSP, they're still holding pretty firm right now. And so there's still a little bit of concern on the AI trade right now because when you have such a wonderful report like that, but it doesn't create a catalyst event, it really stands out to you in the short term. And so that's number one. Number two, for this week, early innings in earnings season. Earnings season does officially start in a week and a half, 2 weeks from now, by the way. But so not a lot of earnings this week. Labor market news on Thursday. Friday is closed for the holidays, obviously. So the labor market news, which typically does come on Friday, is coming on Thursday this week. So that's just something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, good point. Also, guys, it's a holiday on Friday. You don't need to be trading. Go enjoy, go grill out, go have some beers.
Market even open on Friday?
It's open till 1. It's one of those.
It's still one of those mid-warring. Yeah. Oh no, they should just shut it all down. Shut it all down. This is the 250.
Feed the gamblers a little bit of a taste. Come on.
Yeah. And before we get out of here, any big plans for the 4th, guys?
Fireworks and just the typical festivities over the 4th. I love the 4th. The 4th is one of my favorite holidays. If I had to rank them, by the way, let's end on that. What's your favorite holiday? Mine is Thanksgiving officially, but the 4th is my second favorite.
I might go with the 4th, honestly, because that is a great one.
4th's fun.
Yeah, 4th is fun. Halloween's fun too. I like the fun holidays.
I like Halloween, especially with the kids. I like Halloween.
And you know what? You don't have to spend money on the 4th either, really. It's not one of those buy me presents.
You just go down to the park, enjoy some fireworks and some parades and some random craziness. It's great people watching. The 4th is fantastic people watching. It's some of the best. It's better. It's as good as Walmart or the airport combined.
What I don't know about that.
Becky, what about you? What's your favorite holiday?
You know why? It's the best people watching because it is festivities and celebrations and libations mixed with summer attire. And so it gets very interesting.
Yep.
Very fast in the
I
Northwest.
love that.
Yep. Very fast.
Okay, well, holidays definitely. I gotta go Christmas. Since I started having babies, I like Christmas before, but this the wonder and excitement. I cannot get enough of that on their little faces on Christmas morning. But the 4th is a big favorite of ours, and we host actually a little bit of a block party, so it's going to be fireworks in a good time. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about this weekend as well.
That's
I love that. I'm actually flying up to New York to see a concert, so I'm pretty.
What concert you hitting?
It's a band called Goose. They're like I think Grateful Dead style kind of jam band music.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
But we booked it like 6 months ago, going with a couple of my best friends. Gonna upstate New York. I've never seen. I'm excited. Should be beautiful that time of year. And you know what? Don't have to take any time off work because we have a 3-day weekend. It's pretty lined up perfectly, you know.
But yeah, fantastic.
It'll be good people watching there too, I bet. But guys, let me know if you enjoyed this style of the podcast where we focus more on actual trader development topics, things like that, rather than talking about technicals, which we do all day in our stream anyway.
Join me in the technical lab on Thursdays. We'll break down technicals.
Matt will do that
and you'll learn a lot more.
Power hour in 40 minutes.
If you're watching this now in 40 minutes, they're going to do a full rundown of the day anyway. So why are we going to do it again?
Including probably a discussion of Micron and the economics of the league and all of that. That's true.
Bring the conversation there.
Yep. But guys, if you have any topics, find me in Discord. Let us know in the chat. But until then, stay profitable. We'll see you next week.
Later, team.
Bye.